As a kid, I wasn't sure what I wanted to become. I thought I wanted to be like a doctor or a lawyer. I had this fascination about superheroes. But I think I was always attracted to music. That was the one thing that always pulled me. The music was always what appealed to me. Yeah, as a child already. So it was like calling me from day one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was born in Danville, Virginia, in America. Our family moved to Gary, Indiana, close to Chicago, and that was when I was 5 years old. A student that came over in 1975 to actually study sociology and had an ambition to maybe work with children, but in the process discovered his first love of music that was always there as a child. Turns out to be fortunate to meet some people that introduced him into the studio session scene and being able to make a lot of his dreams come true as a musician. I was a little bit of a rebel. I was into the R&B stuff, big time, because I mean that was the music of my peers. But I really liked to listen to the jazz things, and I used to take a garbage can, a little small metal garbage can from out my bedroom, and I would just sit and play on that thing and groove along with it. Eventually, I decided to work one summer as a student job, and I got my first set of bongos. Then I was lost. We had the platform shoes and bell bottoms and the afros and, you know, the medallion. Everybody was peace and the congas were cool, and you just did your little thing on there. And for me, I felt like a fish in water. I was like, freedom. Please don't tell Mama, Mama wouldn't understand. Please don't tell Mama, I'm begging you, bro. I've got 4 children, 4 different moms, kind of a rock and roll life. And regardless of the relationships between me and the moms, kids are here. I love all 4 of them. I only have contact with the oldest son. Please don't tell Mama, Mama wouldn't understand, 'cause she treats me like a boy and not a man. My career was always my first love. My music was always there when everybody else let me down. And I've had that since I was a little kid. Because even when things didn't go right at home or I wasn't allowed to do something, I go in my room and I sit and tap, listen to music, drown myself in music, sing my little songs, you know. And that was comforting for me. That was my best friend. You know, it was at a time when we were together as well that studio work was like every day. I mean, 24/7. And you couldn't even get laid at night without the telephone ringing and say, can you come to the studio and play some Tamarina? That's how it was at that time. I do care what critics say to the degree of what they're criticizing me about and who the critic is. All criticism has some reason. It's very difficult for people to make something for everybody. You can't please everybody all of the time. But as long as you're pleased about it, and you're able to learn from whatever criticism that's given to you, then it's okay. I always tell people, well, if it's so bad or if this is so wrong, but the majority of the people are liking it, but you don't like it, maybe you ought to check what your taste is. For years, I was always the side man. I noticed that people were hiring me because, oh, we have Eddie, that's that extra show person. If the public gave me too much attention, 9 out of 10 times I got fired at the end of the season. I'm gonna make you lose your reason. I wanna make you lose your mind. I had this thing of wanting to be the big star. I had that ambition. I always hoped maybe one day somebody might record one of my songs, and it's not so much for the money thing as it is just for maybe a certain amount of recognition of all the years that you put into your music. We had this hit in Denmark with this Tra-La-La thing. The song, the Tra-La-La number, went #1, but not for like 1 week, not for 2 weeks, for several weeks. So they flew us back over. They had a white limousine, and, you know, the cameras, and there were people around. And to be honest, it was one of the most unhappiest times of my life. We had the success not because of I was talented for that. It was just one of those catchy, gimmicky numbers that people evidently liked. But for me as a musician, I felt like I was doing other projects that I thought were much more fulfilling for me.
Ain't that simple? Eddie C, a percussion. Yes.
But looking back on it now, I learned that sometimes the little simple things that are not fulfilling for you now become fulfilling for you later. I can actually only blame myself for choosing the wrong management. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. It took me up until, say, the last years to see that. How it's better for me to promote myself. And this way, okay, at least I'm at the point where I want to be happy with what I'm doing. But you need to find a certain happiness in everything that you do. Nothing lasts forever. So I always say enjoy that moment, ride the roller coaster, and when the time comes that you can't walk anymore, you start to really appreciate the fact when you were able to walk. You are my rhythm, you are romance, you make me smile and I wanna dance.